Get your K-pop idol info from trivial to pivotal. Welcome to a new edition of Off the Record Idol Chart. Hey everyone, this is Jay. Today, we're gonna look at foreign idols who are mistaken for Koreans. Number 1. 17 June. June's full name is pronounced Moon Jun-hee in Korean, and his Korean vocabulary is unbelievable compared to other non-Korean members of 17. So at first, everyone thought he must be Korean. And it's not just his language skills. He even looks extremely Korean too. So much so that when fellow 17 member Hoshi met June for the first time, Hoshi said, "Are you Kim Hee-cheol's 선배's brother by any chance?" However, June is actually Chinese, born in Guangdong province in China. He was cast by a casting manager from Pledis when he was a high school student. He was actually on his way to a convenience store when he was discovered. For carrots, it was a true miracle from the vast land of China. Number 2. Gi-dle Oogie. Oogie is another idol who many of our fans thought was Korean at first. It's because her pronunciation is incredibly accurate when singing in Korean, and her grammar and vocabulary are top-notch. But the truth is, Oogie had learned Korean for only 2 years. Oogie is actually from Beijing, China, and because she's so charming and talented, she's one of the biggest reasons why fans have joined Gi-dle's fandom. When it comes to fluency in Korean, it is no exaggeration to say that Woogi is one of the very best out of all the non-Korean idols from other countries, male or female. Number 3. Twice Tana. When Tana first appeared in a music video, most people had no doubt that she was Korean. Even a lot of her fans thought she was Korean too, because she could speak and write in Korean so well. These days, everybody knows that Tana is Japanese. But still, if you only look at her handwriting and her Korean speaking ability, you will almost believe she's 100% Korean. Number 4. NCT127 Mark. Many believe that Mark is a Korean who just uses an English name as his stage name. After all, he has a Korean name which is Lee Min-hyung, and he went to middle school and high school in Korea. However, both of his parents are Korean-Canadian. Mark grew up in Toronto until he was 7 and moved to New York where he lived until he was 12. Then he moved to Vancouver and he lived there until he was 15. It was in Vancouver where his life changed because there was an audition held by SM Entertainment in Vancouver. Mark went for the audition and passed it. He then moved to Korea and went to school like everyone else, starting from middle school. But as far as his background is concerned, he is Canadian. Number 5. Ex-IOI jookyulkyung. Hardly anyone knew that jookyulkyung was Chinese when she first debuted. Her Korean is so good, she practically sounds like a native speaker, and she's always the first one people bring up when ranking non-Korean idols who can speak fluent Korean. She is so used to speaking in Korean that one time, when she was on air, she had a slight problem talking with her mom on the phone because she had forgotten her Chinese. Because of her fluent Korean, some people speculated that jookyulkyung is an overseas Chinese. In truth though, jookyulkyung is a Chinese from Taizhou, China. Number 6. B2B Pineal. Initially, there were some speculations about Peniel's ethnic background because he looks kind of multiracial, but it was later revealed that his parents are both Korean. For this reason, there are fans who think Peniel was born and raised in Korea. But as a matter of fact, Peniel is a Korean American born and raised in Chicago, Illinois in the US. Peniel's Korean name is Shin Dong-gun, and he used to be much more comfortable with English than Korean. Lately though, his Korean has noticeably improved, and is now pretty good at expressing himself in Korean. Number 7. Cosmic Girls Sunny. Sunny can convince anyone with her sweet smiley eyes and her face that she's a Korean. Her name sounds very Korean too, which makes her Koreanness so much more convincing. To everyone's surprise though, Sunny is a Chinese from Hainan, China. When you hear her talking in an interview, you can actually notice that she's not fully comfortable with Korean just yet. But her fellow Chinese members, Miki and Seongso, have seen a huge improvement in their Korean, so sooner or later, Sunny will most likely see a significant progress in her Korean skills. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the like button and subscribe for more upcoming content. This has been Jay of Off the Record Idol Chart.